If it seems like playing cards have been around forever, it's because they have. Well, not forever, but for a really, really long time. Suits and their corresponding graphic icons, called pips, changed over time based on geography and popular culture. Decks would also be commissioned by wealthy families who used iconography to represent themselves. These slips of paper aren't just toys. They are culturally significant objects that reveal the popular customs of their time. Although card decks are now standardized, there are several novelty decks available for purchase. But wouldn't it be more fun to make your own? Much like the commissions made by noble families, the card design, suit name, and pip will reflect the individual creating the suit. A modern standard deck consists of 52 cards. There are 4 different suits in a deck, and each suit has 13 cards. There are 9 numbered cards ranging from 2 to 10, and 4 face cards, which are typically more elaborately decorated. In a standard deck, these are called the ace, jack, queen, and king. When creating your own deck, the designations for the face cards can be changed, but the hierarchy or value of each face card should remain clear. Begin by choosing a theme for the suit. This should be reflective of a specific personality trait, passion, or hobby. Create a number of sketches, keeping in mind that the print needs to fit within a 2.5 by 3.5 inch card. The image should be clear and simple, and will be further decorated after printing. I've created a number of sketches here. First, create a decorative border for the suit. This design should leave space to hand letter the number in the corners. Because my theme is going to be cats, I've made a border that looks like a ball of yarn. Now, to design the main element or character for the face cards, we need to make sure that it will fit within the border and that it can be read from both directions. This is called an ambigram. To make an ambigram, first, start with your basic sketch. Place a sheet of tracing paper over your original sketch and trace it. Now, turn your tracing paper upside down and find a place where the two can overlap. You may need to sacrifice some of the detail in your sketch to combine them. Going to erase the original legs that I drew as they confuse the image a little bit. Use transfer paper to transfer the design to a piece of paper. And now you have a clean image that you can transfer onto your printing block. Next, you will need to design a pip. The pip is a simplified version of the face card design. I've made a simple cat head silhouette for my pip. The image should be small enough that it can be clearly stamped the number of times as the card that it represents. In other words, it needs to be small enough to be stamped a total of 10 times. Finally, let's create a design for the ace. Traditionally, this card is a larger, more detailed version of the pip design. So I've made a slightly more detailed and elaborate cat head. Finally, everyone will need a design for the back of the card. Ideally, this should be the same image across the class, or designed in groups of 4, so that artists can join together to play a game without giving away to the other players what card they might be holding. Alternatively, Royal Co. does make a deck of blank cards with the main back-facing design pre-printed. I've transferred my images to a Speedball Speedy Cut Easy block. One 4-inch by 6-inch block should be plenty to create all 4 designs. The blocks will be used like stamps, meaning the edges of the block can be trimmed in irregular shapes as needed. Carve the images using a Blick lino cutter. As always, when using a sharp cutting tool, cut away from yourself and your hand. I find it helpful to glue the carved stamps to a wood block. Here I'm using the high gloss wood block, And I've stamped the other side of the block before gluing it on, so I know exactly what image I'm stamping. Midwest also makes thin sheets of wood that can easily be cut with scissors and glued to the back of the larger card designs. Now we're going to print. Lay down some newsprint or scrap paper. This will prevent you from accidentally overprinting onto your desk or working surface. I'm using these Strathmore Artist Trading Cards. I'm going to lay out 13 cards. I'm using Ranger archival ink pads. These are perfect for the classroom because they are refillable and they come in a jumbo size. I'm going to start by printing the back side of the card design, and I'm going to use a carved block just like I would a stamp. And the cards can be turned over. It's okay if there's a little bit of difference in printing from card to card. Now I'm going to print the decorative border for the cards. Now I'm going to print my 3 face cards with the ambigram, my double cat, and my ace. We can move those aside while we print the numbered cards. Now remember, the numbered cards start at 2 and go through 10. You can play with the arrangement, where on the card you want to put them. You can also face them in different directions. You can see how gluing the linoleum to a block really helps when printing something this small. Now they are going to start getting crowded as you move along, and it's okay if some of the prints overlap, as you can always decorate it at the end and define those features. When the ink has dried, which shouldn't take too long, the cards can be embellished with a variety of media, such as marker, gel pens, watercolor, and even gouache. When complete, grab 3 friends and shuffle the suits together for a game. Visit dickblick.com for a free lesson plan PDF complete with step-by-step instructions, a material list, and national standards.